about 6 in the morning. The sun is coming up soon. We are pretty well socked in with fog, so we're just going to kind of take it slow here, which we need to do anyway, and make our way. So we are going from Orange Beach, Alabama, and our destination is Carabel. We are going to take the ICW and maybe run outside for a bit. We have charted a few different bailout positions along the way. Just, you know, this is sort of our shakedown cruise. It's a long way to Carabel. We think we can make it. It's supposed to be a beautiful day with low winds and low waves, but we will take it slow down the ICW at first, getting up to various temperatures and speeds and RPMs and checking it out. So engines are running. We have unfurled our great loop flag and we are back on the loop, and we couldn't be more excited. So we're just going to see how long it takes to warm up the engines here and what the fog does, and kind of make a decision to move here shortly.
And we were talking last night. I just want to take a quick second and just thank you to everybody who has reached out to us. Friends, family, strangers, people we've never met have been so supportive and just given us all the encouragement we could ever have imagined. So it just means the world to us, for all the people who are watching and commenting and sharing just, you know, some funny anecdotes. We love it. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. It's nice to have built up a little community, and in some of the gray, dark times, it was really helpful to interact with a lot of you out there, and we appreciate everyone. We appreciate every view, we appreciate every comment, and it just couldn't be better. So thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that was fun. We made it off the fuel dock, out of the marina, into the first channel, and froze. It was zero visibility. We couldn't see the channel markers. They're not that great anyway. They're kind of the old style on a telephone pole. And we are socked in with fog. So we made it about another 800 feet, went back in the marina and tied to a wall right at the entrance. We're just kind of waiting out the fog, but we are socked in. So weather forecast says 10. We think when the sun gets up a little bit more on the horizon, it'll kind of burn off. But yeah, it was too much, too scary, unfamiliar waters, shakedown cruise. We just had to make the call to get back to a safe wall and tie up. So here we wait. How's Allie doing?
He's doing good. Little nerved up, I think, from what Bob says, and I agree that I think he knows I'm nerved up. So he is a mama's boy, and yeah, I think he's he's doing okay. We're both doing good.
We made it to about 8:30, and we are still waiting out the fog. It's getting a little better. We can see it breaking up, and every time we think it breaks up enough to move, another bank sort of rolls in. So it is lifting, and it's due to be out of here by 10. But one of the interesting things is we have no radar. I've tried starting and restarting the system, and the radar will not come online. So that really adds to not wanting to try and travel in the fog without the radar. I am seeing the AIS targets, and our navigation works fine, but without the radar. While we sit and wait, on a Saturday, we called Clint at Boca Marine. He's gonna come down and give the radar a once over while we're waiting out the fog, and maybe by the time he's done and gets it working, the fog will break up and we can motor on. Well, there goes Clint from Boca Marine. He came over and in 2 seconds climbed up on the roof and found that when we power washed the roof, somebody bumped the power switch on the outside of the radar unit, which I didn't know there was one. So I learned that lesson today. Our Raymarine has a power switch external that was flipped into the off position. He was here about 15 seconds and turned it on, and everything's working fine. I did ask him if he wanted to try and walk me through it on the phone, but he was nice enough to come down on a Saturday and get us turned on. So I learned a little bit of something. If that helps anybody out there, Raymarine radars have an external power switch that can get bumped when you're detailing or cleaning the boat or anything. So radar's working. The fog has lifted enough that we can see down the channel, and it's time to get this show on the road.
Try to. Now we're out. Much better conditions than it was. It's definitely foggy, but we can actually see. So we're in a good spot. Saying bye to Orange Beach. We've met so many nice people here. So everyone was so kind, and we'll always have definitely a soft spot with Orange Beach. I have a feeling we'll be back.
We are officially in Florida, crossed over the Floribama line, and we are in a real narrow spot of the ICW just on top of Perdido Key, getting ready to go underneath the Perdido overpass bridge, which we've traveled several times going back and forth to Pensacola to the airport. But we are in a no-wake idle speed zone, going about 4 knots, as slow as she'll go, and supposed to open up here in a minute. So everything seems to be going good so far. The fog is not all the way lifted, so kind of watching that a little bit too. Supposed to clear out of here, that's what the weather says, but it is absolutely dead calm, and that's not helping our fog situation, but it's making for a nice ride.
Can't see too much with the fog, but we're coming up under the Perdido Pass Bridge that takes you off the Gulf and starts heading you towards Pensacola. And never knew how scared I was to drive over bridges. Kind of dodged it the whole trip, except for Sarah came down to visit, and luckily Sarah drove on the way to the airport, but I had to drive back, and it's a 2-lane, 1 lane each side. There's like no shoulder. It's just sketchy. I did it, but I was white-knuckled and was not comfortable and would choose not to do it again. But I had to pull over actually and try to reroute myself to see if there was any way I could get around it. But Sarah gave me a pep talk, so did Bob, and before I left, and I did it, but I'll be glad when we're past it.
about 2 hours into it, and I just brought Andromeda up on plane. Basically got her going full throttle. I'm watching the temperature, I'm watching the oil pressure. There's no one around. We're in a huge open area, and fog's starting to lift. So far all the temperatures look good, all the pressures look good. Everything on both engines is the same. So we're gonna run her like this for another half hour or something, just to keep an eye on things and then bring her back down to idle and see how everything checks out. So far, she's kicking butt.
So the day continues to be kind of planned on the fly, and we are entering basically Destin Harbor, Choctawhatchee Bay, and we have decided that we'll go outside into the Gulf and try and make Panama City. We thought with the slow start with the fog that we'd be happy with Destin. We're kind of basically here or getting close, and so we've got a slip in Panama City, and we're going to go outside where we can run a little faster, and we think we can get in there still an hour or so before sundown and fuel up, and we might talk about crossing in the morning. The weather window is there, so we might take advantage of it, but that's the plan.
Nervous, but he's getting there.
We are crossing the Gulf of Mexico from basically Destin over to Panama City. It's not terrible. It's rolling. The wave height is not bad, but the rollers are kind of coming at our forward beam, and every once in a while it'll ring the bell, but it's not any worse than Lake Michigan can get. I wish it was a little smoother for one of our main voyages, but it's also a good test for Kathy and I and a good test for the boat. So we are about an hour and 20 minutes from Panama City, running straight across the Gulf, and hope to be in the marina before they close the fuel dock and before it gets dark. We'd like to fuel up And we're going to discuss tonight whether we'll cross the Gulf over to the Clearwater area tomorrow. It's supposed to be another calm day, a sunny day. So that's stuff to talk about tonight. But right now we are about an hour and 20 out of Panama City.
We did it. We are back. Day one of our new and improved loop is in the books. We made it from Orange Beach, Alabama this morning, and we were in Panama City, Florida. We went through it all. We went through fog, we turned around and came back. We made our way just by radar and feel through the intercoastal. And we finally got to Destin and we said, you know what, let's take her outside. It was a beautiful day on the Gulf. And
it was only like 2:30, so we were trying to make up some time. We'd love to stop and go slow roll, but next time.
Next time. We got to make up some time, get with our friends, meet up with Dreamer back in the Bahamas. That's our goal. So we made it. Day one is in the day one of the new loop is in the books, and looking forward to tomorrow, where we just might cross the Gulf. We don't know. We're going to talk about that over dinner.
And as soon as we landed too, I don't have their card with me, but we ran into some loopers here, and they follow us. So they were super nice people, and they were all excited. They had kind of the same-ish sketchy start that we did. They've had different issues, but they're kind of in the same boat we are. So we were both happy to see each other.
A couple of cruising Andromeda fans, we were shocked. So we're gonna go track them down and commiserate over boat problems.
Right. We did it.